So there's a concept I want to share with you no matter what kind of life insurance you sell. And the concept is this: have the prospect picture the hearse backed up the front porch. And what I'm going to do is describe what that means and how we can actually implement this concept throughout the entirety of our sales presentation to sell life insurance of any kind. My name is David DuFord, owner of DuFord Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell products like final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both over the phone and face-to-face. So the idea of having the prospect picture the hearse backed up against the front porch is something I read out of a Dan Kennedy book, who is a well-known marketing guru from many decades ago. And he was talking about consulting with a group of people to train their insurance agents how to sell more insurance door to door. Well, the bottom line, guys, is that if you sell life insurance, you have to have your clients, in other words, picture that life itself is mortal, is that it is vulnerable, that the guarantees that you think you have in life as somebody with life really aren't there, and that it's a fool's errand to count on really anything. So for example, one of the things we teach our agents in my agency to do is to build internal tension. This is a concept that doesn't mean you apply pressure to your clients and make them guilt them into buying, but we try to pull at their heartstrings and show them the reality of things, that you are going to die and that there are people who love you, that depend on you, that will be put into tremendous burden if you don't make the right decision. And we say all this in a way that is earnest, and it's not designed to patronize the client. It's designed to see life as it is. So when we say the concept to back the hearse up against the front porch, where we try to implement this is in this pre-qualification section. And we do it in a way where we ask open-ended questions. So tell me, Mr. Prospect, you don't have coverage right now. What happens tomorrow if you pass away? They supply some type of description, probably emotionally based. The reply to that, for example, would be, so how would you feel if you left this burden to your dearest children, the people that you love? How could they get through it? How would they feel if they had to shoulder this burden? How would you feel about their feelings? This process gets us deeper and deeper and deeper into the psychology of why someone would buy life insurance. Notice I'm not presuming anything. I'm asking open-ended questions in a very interesting, introspective way to the client, but I'm not trying to pressure them into thinking my way is better than others. I'm only asking them questions that will help them arrive to this conclusion of whether or not they feel this way. This internal tension builds automatically if they have the empathy and concern already. Okay, so it's important to point that out. It sounds cheesy when you back the hearse up against the front porch. It sounds like you're pressuring, but you're really not. We also do this when we hear objections at the end of the call, and I would ask you to kind of think along the lines as you rebuttal objections, how to internalize this concept of showing the rawness of their situation. So when somebody says something, along the lines of let me think about it, or they're not happy with the coverage they got, they think they can get more. Let's use this example. I'll share with them the concept of something is better than nothing. And the solution to your problem is not avoiding the premium. The solution to your problem is paying the premium. The more you avoid this problem, the bigger it gets. The sooner you take action, the sooner this problem goes away. And people get this, the idea that you're not going to avoid dying, that tomorrow isn't promised. We've all known people, and I shared this with the prospects, who have gotten sick suddenly with a stroke, cancer, etc., died suddenly, obviously by, tragic accident. Our lives aren't here and guaranteed, and we have to prepare because of that. And we help them see the nature of their situation, that yes, death does lurk us all, and it's gonna come. But when that funeral is, we just don't know, which is more reason to plan for it now versus the time when we can't plan. And then what is left to people who are unprepared, typically the family, the people we say that we love in our life. Life insurance purchasing is an act of love. It is a raw emotional purchase. And you have to connect the emotionality of it in order to sell it, because conceptually, life insurance also is probably the most intangible product to sell. You can't feel it or touch it. If you're selling death benefit, if you're selling something like an investment type of strategy with cash value, that's different. But if you're selling life insurance where we're taking care of the survivors, well, the insured can't ever get to that policy until they die, which means they can never get to it. So it's entirely conceptual. So we have to get them to picture how death hurts and other people, how it's not just about them, how they have to be concerned about the people they love in their life, and they have to take action to plan. So I want you guys out there, as you sell life insurance, as you go to your appointments and before you pick up the phone, think of backing the hearse up against the front porch. Visually think about what that looks like. Think about your clients looking out the door and seeing a hearse backed up. Thinking about the fear of death following your clients around. And think about how that's true for everyone, including yourself. And with that in mind, let that inspire you on how to handle your life insurance conversations. Let that inspire you to have conviction when you hear some nonsense objection about putting off this decision. And in a way that is sincere in helping the client and keeping their interests first. And not using this as a guilt trip, but instead using this to help see them for things as they are, not as they hope it to be, and how they can take care of this problem and get the peace of mind that they need. Hope you enjoyed this training. If you like this kind of training, of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment below if you've ever used this tactic and how well you think it works. And if you'd like to learn about joining my agency, there should be links above and below. Click the link. It'll take you to a frequently asked question page where you can learn more about my agency and what it's like to become a top producer here. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.